What made you sit down and say, I want to write a song called Bill Murray? Or is that even what happened?
It's easier to sing Bill Murray than Keanu Reeves. How did it start, Ian?
It started with a text message from Brock just saying like, dude, I think I've just written like the best thing I've ever written in my life. I was like, okay, like I sat up in my chair because I'm like, that's not something that we often say. From my perspective, it was the most complete idea I think you've ever brought in, so far as a lot of the melodies that you created vocally made it to the end. It was definitely a song that Brock was very much like, no, it has to be sung like this. You have to do it like that.
The next time we got together, this wasn't like the microphones were all on and they just happened to get this. This was something that we agreed would be a good idea, so we went away to work on it. Here it is. Here is the demo of Bill Murray.
I'm uncool, I'm the Urkel to everyone's Bill Murray. I've been broke in every sense of the word. You've heard it all before. I keep chasing my next high score. Issues galore, I'm a walking, talking magazine. We all know that nobody reads. What's the use in words when all they want today is my la da 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 la da 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 la da 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 da. All they want today is my la da 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 la da 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 la da 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 la da da da.
One sec. Okay, so there's that syncopated ska, bop, that, and bongos, and it was had this like island feel.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason.
We both always try and chase the initial idea before we start injecting.
What if?
What if?
As I scrub back just a little bit.
All know that nobody reads. What's the use in words when all they want today is my la da 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 la da 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 la da 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 da.
Second verse again.
I've earned so many.
I just figured like we'll start the song off with this little bit of like a curveball, but the band's got to come in at some point.
Right.
I just felt we've been weird for a minute. Let's kind of rope it back into something familiar.
We definitely have tried, and through various points of our music career, we've always been like, but how does it rock?
I keep having my scene stolen, but I keep rolling cause I know nothing's wrong with me and I don't have to be the lead. But every now and then I wanna be brave, I wanna be popular, downright funny, don't need the money, just wanna be loved like Bill. I wanna be brave, I wanna be popular.
This also not even a second verse, so you can thoughts on the old chorus there.
Yeah, I mean it's weird to hear it.
It's weird to hear it,
and it's like, I mean, I understand why the demo was like that, but it was like, yeah, very interesting.
You ever think he feels weird being the next me, being on the big screen? Think his voice sounds funny to his ears.
Okay, so the plan was that the da-da-da part was going to be integral.
And we have to have, I mean, like, you stopped it, but there's a guitar solo.
Kind of emulating the vocal again. It's all in service of...
I'm uncool, I'm the Urkel to everyone's Bill.
Oh, we dropped it back into the verse.
Yeah, like a verse 3 was still to play. Again, with blank spaces for other vocals.
I wanna be brave.
To us, it's the same expression when we're songwriting and demoing and tracking in the studio. That's sort of why I think Ian and I, probably more so than other bands, are open to songs mutating and changing, because to us, there is no difference.
I think you and I have come a long way. I mean, I vividly remember saying to you things like, here's my version of a song. This is all my ideas. I don't care what happens to it next. What made you sit down and say, I want to write a song called Bill Murray? Or is that even what happened?
Even in the echelon of celebrity, there are celebrities who are just universally liked. It was the emotion of being beloved, not the status of being celebrity, that I found more interesting. It's something that was unrelatable to me in that we're not celebrities.
Right.
So in writing something, it's like, well, I wouldn't want to be celebrity or have the status, but being beloved could be cool. It's not a song about Bill Murray. It's a song about to be loved like Bill Murray. He must understand on some level that people just look to him as this like elusive unicorn-like figure.
You know, when you deal with celebrity, it's like it's easy to forget that they literally are people.
I too am a person and get another chance every day the sun comes up.
We were working with a guy named Anton DeLoss, and we start going through the songs, and it's literally us sitting at the back of a room not too dissimilar from this, and Anton sitting over the computer and just pushing play and just listening. And you could kind of tell, like, there's like 5 or 6 songs we brought him, and you could kind of tell, like, just body language and like, yeah, okay, that's cool. Okay, he doesn't like that one. He got to Bill Murray, and we hadn't quite said Bill Murray's a non-negotiable yet. He turned, like, wheeled around to us, and he was like,
it's so goofy sounding.
Wake me up when I can't wake up.
But we started tracking it like the demo anyway, and the nature of a recording studio is some stuff is just lost to the cutting room floor. I mean, there's a version with James playing drums to the song,
like a full band version.
It was the feel change. So like obviously like the syncopated thing that we all
Murray, I've been broke.
It gave way to
it's night and day, and it truly is like amazing.
I'm cool, I'm the Urkel to everyone's Bill Murray.
And there's lots of space in the guitar. It's just so stark. There's no bongos, there's no shakers. It's like at this point in the song, there's all of Ian's vocals and one guitar, just like how you guys see us every day on stream.
What's the purpose of this song? Is it the island feel? Is it the musicality? And we were very much like, it's the message.
Right.
So all of a sudden, you hear the space in those guitars.
Yeah.
To allow the message to come through a lot stronger.
You get the high ones. The trumpet comes in here. Ian, is that the realest sounding trumpet ever or
No,
what?
it is not. Google has like a artificial intelligence sound wave maker.
Yeah.
Where basically it's like you put in any sound in any format. So you can go la da 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 da, and
Google
it's gonna
analyzes
analyze
that.
it.
It pulls from a sound library, and you can pick like violins or whatever. So Anton's like, that could be cool if you're a nerd rock band. Instead of getting a trumpet player, why don't we just play a guitar melody that you want to hear as a complementary part to your da-da-das? And we came up with this trumpet part. The goal in arranging is to just make little events that are sort of like, ooh, it's a new twist. That trumpet was born from that hollow body sound. And then slide guitars.
It's not a thing. Like it's texture.
What's interesting about the bass guitar, also acknowledging that this is not a full band song with a full kit. This is one of the only instances of bass guitar in the whole song is in second verse. So again, it's really kind of, you wouldn't think.
So many stripes that I've turned one shade, I'm afraid, 'cause
from a production standpoint, that bass guitar is dry.
It goes back to that thing of like the stark space, where instead of like a bass line, it's really just kind of punctuating those main guitar things.
This is where a little bit like the dark art of songwriting comes in.
Yeah.
But the purpose of that isn't so now when that verse 2 kicks in, you guys go, oh, it's literally to fill out like a spectrum, so that when that second verse comes around from a recording perspective, there's something different, but you the listener aren't actively thinking about it.
The acoustic guitar primarily is also like a rhythmic instrument because you can kind of like, you hit the strings in a percussive way. So again, when we were trying to make all these decisions and solve these problems of like, well, there's no drum kit in the song. How are we going to like groove without this like, you know, electronic drum kit?
Oh,
That's awesome. Like when you hear the full chorus, you're like,
yeah, you
it's
don't
there.
hear it.
It's there. But then if you kind of mute it, it just
Now it's just filling up the space
it just
in
adds
between
that.
them.
It's the coolest thing. And again, for exactly the same reason, here's the coolest thing ever. I'll mute the organs again.
'Cause I want love like that. You make it look easy. You make it look easy.
And as you kind of like search through, it's like what you'll notice is none of these are playing together yet. The song file starts out very stark, and then it grows.
You make it look easy. 'Cause I want love like that.
There's a track called Ghost, being that there's a lyric about ghosts from my past. For no reason, just right there.
I'm uncool. I'm the Urkel that everyone's Bill Murray. And that's alright with me.
That falls literally on the transition between the verse and the bridge.
You almost kind of want to smear the boundaries, you know?
'Cause I'm a walking.
It drops down to where the song started. The song comes from a pensive place, and the way that dynamically that was represented was just like one guitar and one vocal, just the essentials. Last time I heard I'm uncool and the Urkel to everyone's Bill Murray, there was nothing. Now I'm hearing I'm uncool and the Urkel to everyone's Bill Murray with everything. Every element in that song so far is in.
Right.
What's the point of trying to be someone that I can't be?
Talking about Bill Murray movies, and if anyone's seen The Life Aquatic, he's underwater, so we get this sonar effect. That's sort of like a punctuation on these lines. I think this is what people mean when they say like art imitates life and life imitates art. In the demo, there was a guitar solo. Anton's thing was, well, just play something bluesy in the last chorus. Nothing was prepared the way I probably was like trying to emulate your vocal in the demo. Just stuff, you know? There's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 vocals.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Words when nobody understands me. What's the point of trying to be someone that I can't be? I want love like that. You make it look easy. You make it look easy.
Here they come.
'Cause I want love like that. You make it look easy. You make it look easy. 'Cause I want love like that.
This song lost a lot, but you know, in terms of it just doesn't have the bongos and everything else, but a full drum kit. But what it gained was a bit more clarity, which you can't add more for clarity. Sometimes you do have to remove.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, as we talked about, I think every idea that has gone into this song, musically, lyrically, reflects off of each other.